in September, but they've won 3 of the last 4, so they come here in good heart. It's a pretty awful afternoon in Milan. Heavy rain has been falling, which is likely to make conditions difficult. At least it's not snowing as it has been in England. Sampdoria in the all-blue strip, attacking the goal to our left. Lombardo just failing to make contact there, away by Maldini. Here's Lombardo, will be patrolling the right flank for Sampdoria. Vierkevod. Corini. Now Lettini. Dangerous ball into just beyond Papa, and collected by Paliuca, the goalkeeper of Sampdoria and of course of Italy. He was in goal for Italy's very impressive win over Portugal in their World Cup qualifying game in midweek. Missed then by Aranio, but Costa Curta was covering. And alongside me in the commentary position today is the former AC Milan player, Ray Wilkins. Good afternoon to you, Ray.
Good afternoon, Peter. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm really looking forward to this one. I think this could be the classic Italian game, with Milan being the aggressors and Sampdoria being the side that's going to hit them on the counter-attack, with the speed of Busso, Lombardo, and their number 10, Roberto Mancini. Yeah, a lot of lads have been on international duty in midweek, and I think we're in for a very, very interesting game.
Mancini organising the free kick for Sampdoria. Savicevic and Aranio, the two players forming the wall. Mancini, so many tricks up his sleeve from these set pieces, and very much the man, Ray, around it who it all revolves.
Yes, that's right. I think Mancini, on the evidence of what we've seen this season, has possibly been one of the finest Italian players of Serie A this season, and we see the in-swinging ball coming in there, and Lombardo getting a kick in the face for his efforts there to head it back across goal. I think he's been absolutely superb this year. If there's anybody that can unlock this watertight defence, I think it could well be Mancini.
What about this change at the back? Aranio, who I don't think has played a league game. Indeed, he hasn't for Milan at right back. I think he might have played in 1 or 2 of the friendlies there, but leaving out Tassotti.
Yes, that's right. You did actually mention beforehand that it's unlike Capello to mess around with the back four, and I couldn't agree more, Peter. Irano's a very talented player, but the back four normally stays intact, and I think that's been the platform in which they've been able to spring from.
Busso. Here's Baresi. Didn't play in the international in midweek, Baresi, because of suspension. And it was this man, number 5, Vierkevod, who came in for him in the Italian back four.
And what a player to have to come in as well. Vierkevod, all the experience, tremendous pace. He doesn't have the technical ability of a Baresi, but he really is a very, very good player in his own right.
Zaro dispossessed by Lombardo. Here's Busso, starting a game for Sampdoria for the first time since December. Costa Curta to Aranio, who normally operates further forward in the Milan side. That's exactly what he's doing now, until Lana slides the ball into touch. Aranio, £5 million signing from Genoa back in the summer. Rijkaard. Baresi. There's no flag. Yes, there is. Belatedly. Massaro ruled offside. Shake of the head. And Sampdoria almost caught out then with the pace of that sudden switch to attack by Milan. Sacchetti. Off goes Lombardo, who has a great deal of pace, but has scored only twice this season, which has been a disappointment to him. He's had a lot of opportunities, hasn't been able to tuck them away. Aranio, returned by Papan. In goes Massaro, and quickly closed down by Vierkevod's tackle. Good covering then by Vierkevod.
Good football all round that, Peter. Papan doing ever so well. They get in an early ball to Massaro, and Vierkevod there, a tremendous man-to-man marker, and just taking Massaro out of the game.
Milan corner. Rijkaard couldn't make his challenge effective. A poor clearance. Savicevic, outsmarted though. Eyes the Reina. Baresi sweeping it forward again to Rijkaard. Tackled by Lombardo on Lettini. Lombardo again. Serena lost it though. Iranio, and that's a foul.
That is the bonus Milan have, of course, with Iranio playing at fullback on the right side. He is so good at getting forward and getting crosses in.
Ivani to Iranio. Costa Curta, another man on international duty for the Italians this week. In a fine game too. They were very impressive, the Italians, and they needed a good performance after some poor ones of late.
Yes, that must have been a very good performance. It's never easy to go to a place like Portugal and come away with a 3-1 victory, and that must have been a very, very satisfying result for the Italian side.
And without Baresi too. Costa Curta. Jugovic. Cut out though by Maldini, who was absolutely superb for the Italians, laying on the opening goal for Roberto Baggio with only a few minutes gone. Surely on Savicevic. Interesting to see his performance today, Ray. We haven't seen too many games from him this season.
No, he is a very talented player, and we would like to have seen a lot more of him, but the riches that Milan have, we've been unable to see him. And this is his chance to put in a good performance and stay in the side.
Ivani, who's popping up all over the field in the early stages. Chested down by Massaro! Oh, cracking goal by Massaro. Great start by Milan, and a quality finish by Massaro.
Really was a quality finish. It's a good ball in from Ivani. Great first touch on the chest from Massaro. I think it takes a deflection somewhere along the line. As you see the ball coming in, Massaro's a great first touch on takes it first time on the volley, and there it is, a little nick off the back. I think it was of Lentini, and it unfortunately wrong foots Pagliuca.
7 minutes gone, Milan take the lead. The shot from Massaro, and well, maybe that just wrong-footed Pagliuca. So Sampdoria up against it already. Not though the first goal of the afternoon. I'm hearing that Torino have already scored against Pescara, and it's Carlos Aguilera, the Uruguayan, who has given them the lead. So Pescara's troubles for the afternoon are beginning already. And the crowd in the San Siro digesting that explosive shot by Massaro. That's his 5th goal of the season. And intriguingly there, the Italians crediting the goal to Lettini. Anyway, let's stay with the play for a moment. And was certainly deflected off him, but I would have thought Massaro would have wanted that longer.
It was a good strike, and I think you'll have to tug it away from Massaro. Knowing him, he likes his goals. He doesn't get that many, but he'll definitely claim that one. But it definitely took a deflection off of Lentini's back, and I think Pagliuca had the first shot covered.
Here's Mancini. Lombardo showing for him. And because of the deflection, I think the Italians are going to give it to Lentini. Capello won't mind who claims it. His team are ahead. I reckon that's a bit harsh on Massaro. Here he is now. Oh, that would have been a spectacular strike. Easy save this time for Pagliuca from Lentini. And if he does claim that one, it'll be the strangest goal he's ever scored. Still, he could do with a goal or two. And more good good news for Milan. Their great rivals Inter are losing. A goal down to Fiorentina. And it's Batistuta who has scored for Fiorentina, the Argentine. Inter, the team, of course, closest to Milan at the top of the table. Savicevic. They've started in exhilarating fashion here, Milan. And it's going to be a real test of character for Sampdoria to contain them. Rijkaard directing operations from that central midfield role. Now then to Iranio, who's shaken off Busso. Now Des Walker, and a well-timed tackle. Going to be a real examination for Des and his back four colleagues, right?
Yes, that's right. They've got to hang on in there. They defend a little bit too deep at times, Sampdoria, which allows Milan to really pile on the pressure.
Mostacata, Lombardo though underneath this one. Ivani, now then Maldini, such a cultured player. Rijkaard, again smoothly knocking it wide, this time failing to find a teammate. Spoke too soon.
It is interesting to see Rijkaard play. He sits there and he just prompts the whole game. He just backs up everybody's play. And I honestly feel when he's in the Milan side, they look a far better outfit.
Now Mancini linking with Serena. Also was waiting in the middle, hoping for the cross. Serena out on loan last season to Verona. He's featured in every game for Sampdoria this season, either from the start or as a substitute. Walker. No support for him though. And Costacurta able to tidy up at the back for Milan. A really impressive start by the unbeaten league leaders. Lana was on the bench for the Italians in the week. Still Lana. Now maybe a chance to get his cross in here, but it was a tame one. Iranio. And a foul by Serena. But obviously Arrigo Sacchi, Ray, the Italian coach, likes the defenders in these two teams. He picks most of them for the national side.
Yes, that's right. There are a number of players, and even Tassotti on the bench, who was in action on Wednesday evening. Sacchi obviously likes the Milan players. He knows them inside out, and I'm sure he'll stick with the people that he can trust, or the try and trusted, and the majority of those are Milan players.
And of course the Italians play a zone defence, the same as Milan and Sampdoria.
Yes, that's right. I had the privilege to watch them train last year as well, and they work very hard at playing zone defence, and they put a lot of time, a lot of effort into it.
Arrigo Sacchi, incidentally, in the crowd today. Iranio with the cross. Ivani. Rijkaard. And he rather scuffed that one.
Yeah, he'll be disappointed with that, Rijkaard. It's a lovely little ball from Ivani, and Rijkaard coming onto it, scuffs it into the floor, but he's very fortunate in getting a corner.
So more pressure on the Sampdoria goal. It's Papan on that near post. 9 goals this season from Jean-Pierre Papin in only 13 starts. Absolutely lethal in the penalty box. Savicevic, no, the whistle has gone.
It's not a bad return, is it? 9 goals from 13 starts. That's pretty terrific stuff. When you think you've lost a player of the calibre of Van Basten, and you can call on your second string in Jean-Pierre Papin, it's not a bad outfit, is it? I'd like to see Lombardo coming off that wing now. They're a goal down. He's one of their big threats, Sampdoria. He's playing up against Maldini, who's possibly the best defender in Italian football at the moment. I don't think he's going to get much joy playing one against Maldini. I'd like to see him come off the line and give him problems. Does he come out and pick him up, or does he let him run at him? And it just puts another thing in Maldini's mind. But while he stays wide, Maldini knows exactly where he is, and he's pretty comfortable to have that situation.
Lombardo, who had such a key role, of course, in Sampdoria's championship side. beating Vialli and Mancini. But he seems to be out of favour now on the Italian scene anyway, in terms of the national side. 15 minutes gone. Milan leading by a goal to nil. A shot from Massaro that went in off Lentini. Ranio now. And Serena scampering back to deny him.
Brilliant football again. Papin made a great run for Ivani down the left-hand side. Good crossfield pass. And there was Ranio playing a good 1-2 and nearly getting his cross in. They've really started the game in superb fashion.
And this in driving rain in Milan. Massaro on the chase and decides to give that one up.
Yeah, it's a poor corner. I sometimes think we criticise the Milan pitch, actually. The Milan pitch hasn't been the best over the last couple of seasons. So possibly with the rain, it will help the top surface and the ball will skid across it a lot quicker and enable Milan to push the ball around, and Sampdoria come to that at a much quicker rate.
Baresi to Rijkaard, who missed the match for Holland in midweek. Their win over Turkey. Ruud Gullit played, though. Rijkaard has had injury problems of late. Here's Rossi, the giant goalkeeper, the tallest in Italian top-flight football. No offside. Here's Busso now. Support arriving from Jugovic, and the two failing to combine. So well organised at the back, Milan, although Baresi was unhappy with something there. Just hearing that Inter have now equalised against Fiorentina, so it's 1-1 in Florence, and it's Ruben Sosa, another of the Uruguayans playing in Italian football, who has equalised for Inter. I think Schillaci is in their side today as well.
It's interesting to note as well, Peter, they've put Des at left back. Lana's gone into the centre of the defence, and they're playing Des Walker now at left back. I don't know whether that's to counter-attack the aggressive player Ranio at full-back, but they definitely moved him.
He was certainly prominent in those first few minutes down the right flank, Ranio. Des Walker, who's featured at left back on a couple of previous occasions. I don't think either Lana or Walker particularly want to play in that position. They're both central defenders, really. Indeed, Lana last season was the sweeper. Now Mancini's pass, and he's released Busso, but the whistle's gone. Wouldn't have counted anyway.
That's dreadful play from Lombardo. Mancini has actually put a fantastic through pass through, and Lombardo just grabs hold of Costa Curta to prevent him getting back. Absolutely atrocious play from Lombardo.
Brilliant vision by Mancini to send it through. Frustration, though, there for Sampdoria.
I think Mancini's the man. If anybody can open up Milan, then Mancini's the fella. He's got tremendous vision. He's a great passer of the ball, and it's the disguise he puts on the ball that is the thing that makes his passes so telling.
Savicevic, the pace of Des Walker, though, to the rescue. One of the quickest defenders in the business, of course, Des Walker. He's got his hands full today with this Milan side. Savicevic taking the throw. Now Rijkaard. No, nobody wants to take it. Serena trying to clear, and it's a throw to Sampdoria, which has baffled Savicevic. One of the 6 foreign players on Milan's books. So each week, if they're all fit, 3 of them have to sit it out. Baresi climbing high. Busso given away, though, to Ivani. He was such an industrious player. He hasn't featured all that often for Milan this season. He's had injury problems too.
It's a big game for him, Peter. As you say, he's been out of the side for long spells. And he started the game in tremendous fashion as well. All over the place.
Sacchetti. This is Jugovic. He's having an excellent season, his first for Sampdoria since his move from Red Star Belgrade. And of course he played with Savicevic in that highly successful side that won the European Cup and indeed the World Club Championship. Baresi. Masaru in pursuit. Coming towards the halfway point in the first half. Just a quick mention, Ray, you were talking about training earlier on, and I think you hope to be back in full training pretty soon.
Yes, that's right. I've been working quite hard last week, and I'm hoping to step it up this week coming, and hope to get a game in within about 10 days.
Maybe name soon the year of your comeback. Busso with a header on. Costa Curta away as Wilkins kicks me on the shin. The shark kicking back, he'll have another injury. Bjerkevold. Milan in control. It's the one goal so far, and there's an injury here, which gives me the chance to bring you the news that Torino are in charge against Pescara. It's now 2-0. Sordo has got the second goal for Torino, to follow the earlier one from Aguilera.
I think the game's going pretty much as we thought it would, actually, Peter. Milan being the aggressors, and Sampdoria on the odd occasion breaking out and hitting them on the counter-attack.
Mancini, who only came on as a very late substitute for the Italians in midweek, which I think surprised you, Ray, but it's Baggio who's keeping him out of the side.
Well, they're two very exceptional players, both of them, but it's I honestly think, on the evidence that we've seen this year, and taking into account as well the way Sampdoria have played over the odd week, that Mancini's performances have been quite exceptional, and they are really sport for choice, the Italians, to have players of the class of Baggio. Zola doesn't even get a mention now, and Mancini, of course.
Here's Lombardo. Busso, and the first time shot was only partially charged down by Baresi, so a corner to Sampdoria, which will lift their confidence a little after the earlier battering from Milan. Busso, who made his debut for Juventus at the tender age of 16, but hasn't really made the progress that people expected of him. Getting his chance to shine today. Lombardo, defender streaming out, there has to be an offside here, and Bjerkevold plants it wide anyway.
Yeah, that's that organisation again. As the ball came back in, Baresi had them flying out of the penalty area, and there was two guys offside, Bjerkevold and one of his companions. But they've got to be careful of that. That is one of the odd occasions that Sampdoria are going to get up there and put a good ball in and hopefully get the equaliser is from dead balls. And they can't be getting called offside once the ball's cleared the Milan penalty area.
Jean-Pierre Papin, who says he's happy now, and that of course is because he's in the Milan side. It'll be interesting to see what happens when Marco van Basten returns, and that is likely to be in a few weeks' time. Forward by Baresi. Plenty of time though for Paliuca. Who's regained the national team jersey from Marchegiani of Torino. Lombardo. Goes down by Lentini, still Lombardo. Lana. Now news of Paul Gascoigne's Lazio side. And it's bad news at the moment. They're 2-0 down to Genoa. Padovano with the first goal. And Tomas Skuravi, the Czech international, adding a second. So Lazio in trouble, 2-0 down. Corini. Out goes Ivani, free kick to Milan.
There's the perfect view of the pressing that Milan do. Savicevic going in first. As the ball's flicked over his head, there was Ivani following up. That's very difficult for teams to counter-attack.
Costa Curta taking the free kick. Maldini's header down, came off Sakati. Movement from Masaru. Carini just whipped it away before Savicevic could effect a tackle. Baresi. Now Lentini. Good play by Massaro. Towards Papan. And Walker had to launch himself to head it clear.
I think he's laid Des out there. He's headed him on the back of the head, and I think he's laid out in the penalty area. I thought both are. It was good play from Massaro, but it's a very good header from Des Walker, with Papan putting him under so much pressure.
Well, Papan clearly winded. And there's the collision. Oof, nasty clash of heads.
That's a nasty bump, but it's a very good header from Des Walker. He got an enormous amount of distance on it as well, which...
Well, Papan's okay. Let's hope Des Walker is as well. Sven-Goran Eriksson, the Swedish coach of Sampdoria. More goal news. Lazio have got one back now. Karl-Heinz Riedler, the German international, has scored for Lazio, so it's Genoa 2, Lazio 1. And Pescara have scored at Torino, so it's Torino 2, Pescara 1. Nobile with a goal. Now this is Mancini powering forward again. Faced though by a whole posse of Milan defenders grouped around Baresi, but Lombardo couldn't quite stretch to reach it.
That was unlucky. Mancini doing ever so well there. He was breaking forward. I think it was only Busso there with him. Surrounded by 4 or 5 Milan players, a difficult task, but his vision and his passing ability really came to the fore there. He was just a couple of feet out from putting Lombardo in on the right side.
Milan have conceded only 3 goals at home this season, and 3 of those were in one match. That stunning game against Lazio, 5-3.
Carini there showing a bit of frustration. Things aren't really going his way this afternoon.
Rather overshadowed so far, young Carini, who is nonetheless an outstanding prospect. And he was called up by Saki for the international squad a couple of matches ago. It goes Papan! Breathtaking football, and what a finish by Papan.
I think this is another one of those Milan masterclasses we're seeing this afternoon. The pass from Maldini with the outside of his left foot that sends... I can't remember who it was that crossed the ball, but it's a fantastic pass with the outside of his left foot. An early ball whipped in, and there was Papan diving very bravely. It's Lentini whips it in. The earlier the better, and as it comes in, there's Papan. That's a very brave header.
Des Walker was the covering defender. He could do nothing about that.
That's very brave, very brave. With the skiddy surface helping him as well, the ball really is coming off at a really quick rate. It was a shame we couldn't actually see the pass from Maldini as well. It was so nonchalant with the outside of his left foot.
Well, it was all so fast. 27 minutes gone. Milan 2, Sampdoria 0. That was in mid-sentence. It was all so quick. And Papan, well, that was a goal of a master predator. His 10th of the season. And another one to join his library of classic goals. Maldini.
It's been a quick game. We don't often see games or the tempo of games kept up as this one has done. It really has been a good first half.
Viakovan. Sacchetti. Goes Mancini. Now Lombardo. And he didn't really get hold of it. Trying a shot into the turf. Would have preferred it on his right foot. Ivani, again Milan sweeping forward. Ivani once more, bringing Iranio into the game. Costa Curta, away by Sacchetti. Mancini. Well, he was held back by Iranio, but the referee bringing play back. Mancini not too happy. He's got the free kick, he'd rather have had the ball.
That's right, all they're doing is helping Milan there, because they don't want Mancini on the ball in free play. He's the one person that can unlock them, and the referee's done them a real favour.
Referee Piero Cacciarini from Tuscany. Well, they'll be pretty satisfied down on the Milan bench Tremendous first half an hour for them. What a team. Very much the favourites, of course, to go through from their group into the European Cup final. I wonder, can anyone stop them? Savicevic. Riding the tackle of Carini. Off goes Lettini, with the ball skidding across the wet surface. Lettini, who needs a couple of good games, really. He's lost his way a bit in recent matches. He's saying he's homesick, Ray.
I think he's about 100 miles down the road where he lives as well. I can't really see where a player can be homesick. Playing in this team as well, and the success they're having, he must be having a field day.
Jugovic, that's good skill. Flags up though for offside. Look how far forward those Milan defenders had pushed. Saro to Eranio. Still Eranio, but he had to contend with Des Walker.
Yeah, it's a good tackle from Des. Eranio really tested him there. Just about to whip the cross in, and there's that long left leg coming out to push it away. I think you hit it on the head when you said what a team they are. They play everything so simple. It's just pass and move. Give it to the nearest red and black shirt and they move off the ball.
Well, when they're in this kind of mood, it's an education to watch them. Baresi now. Savicevic. That's Massaro ahead of him. Carini was in the way. Still Savicevic. And he very nearly found Lettini. Papan. Massaro. Sacchetti with the clearance. And Sampdoria just can't get the ball out of their own half at the moment.
No, the ball's been moved around too fast for them. It's only 1 and 2 touched at Milan play. They never over-elaborate. They make the game look very simple.
Anyone you recognise in that crowd shot, by the way?
No,
there wasn't. Mancini, Lombardo. Foul by Baresi, pleading his innocence. Roberto Baggio has scored for Juventus. Roma 0, Juve 1. That's 13 now for Baggio this season. And we talk about Mancini, but, well, Baggio is in scintillating form too for Juve, as well as the Italian national side. And a great goal against Portugal in the week. Now, here is Mancini. So innovative from these free kicks. Not this time, though. Carini. Will give it away. Away goes Papan, and look how far Pagliuca had come racing up. Being expelled from Papan. Living dangerously there, Sampdoria.
My word, they did fly out Milan. It was as if they were having a race to the halfway line, and Pagliuca was really on his toes. That was good goalkeeping.
Walker.
It baffles me why they have Des playing at left back when they have Lana, who has a wonderful natural left foot. And Des Walker is his normal position is playing alongside the centre half, and I think, as I said a couple of weeks ago, Lana wasn't very happy about the situation, and they've asked Des to play left back, but I think it's totally unfair to ask him to play there.
I think he struggled a little bit early on, Des Walker, to settle in Italian football, but the word is he's been playing well of late, and I think he'll be disappointed that he has been switched to that left back role. That was good play there by Ivani initially. Now Eranio. Papan, so much movement, so much fluency about Milan. Rijkaard. Ivani. Cut out by Sacchetti, who can play at left back as well, but they've got Manini out through injury. Mancini.
Yes, I think you hit it on the head when you said about the movement there, Peter. The higher you go and the higher level that you play in football, the thinking and the movement off the ball is the most important thing. And Papan is a marvellous exponent of moving off the ball.
Well, we had a brief glimpse there of Capello, the coach. I think he's saying Milan's success is only down, in his case, to about 20% due to him. But No doubt at all, he's got them so well organised, and of course he's built on Saki's achievements.
Yes, that's right, and it's easy for a side to slip into a complacent manner, and Capello is a tremendous motivator. He won't allow them to slip into that mode. He keeps them up on their toes, and everybody has to fight for their place.
10 minutes to half-time. Milan leading by 2-0. There's Walker. Who are just joining us. An early goal given to Lentini, although it was Massaro's shot that deflected off him. And then Papin with an absolutely stunning header to increase Milan's advantage. This is Lana with a free kick then for Sampdoria, desperately needing a goal to get themselves back in this game. Iranio. Milan not really extended so far. Serena. Oh, Mancini. And the flag's up. Flag's up.
Great finish. The disguise he used to put it past Rossi was the thing. He gave him the eyes to look into his left-hand post, tucked it into his right-hand side, and it was a superb finish, but it was a shame it was offside.
It's been a goal now for Cagliari against Atalanta. Capioli has given them the lead. So plenty of goals around in the Serie A this afternoon. We've had 2 here. And of course you can see all the goals in Paul Gascoigne's show Gazzetta next weekend, 11 o'clock on Saturday mornings. Maldini. Oh, Papin. Very nearly on the end of it. So quick off the mark, Nick Papin. He just sees things, Ray, that other people just wouldn't even think of.
Yes, that's right. We obviously can't actually see it all, but as he'd probably taken Lana in and then dashed out over his left-hand shoulder to make a bit of room for himself. But it was a great run from Lentini. When Rijkaard was in possession of the ball, you saw Lentini dash across the front of your screen. It was only to give the room for Maldini to push up on the left-hand side. And that's what makes them such a good team. They work so hard for each other.
Nice little 1-2 off the referee. Busso, Lombardo. Jugovic, Corini.
I obviously sound very biased when I do this game. I do apologise to the viewers.
You do, actually.
Yeah, that's right. But I am a great fan of the Milan side, and you can even when they're not in possession of the ball, they still look as if they're enjoying winning it back. They work really hard to put the opposition under so much pressure.
Here's Rijkaard now. Milan rolling into gear again until the intervention set Sampdoria on their way. Lana sitting out Lombardo, who was onside. Mancini, and again what superb covering then by Maldini. Sacchetti taking the throw for Sep. Is Vierkovon. Jugovic, Sacchetti, Mancini, Lombardo, offside. And there was the vision again of Mancini.
I'd like to see him switch wings with Serena, Lombardo. Use Serena just to block the run of Maldini and attempt to get Lombardo to take Iranio on. Iranio does have natural attacking tendencies, and if Lombardo could get the ball and have a pop at him 1-against-1, then I think you might see a little bit of success. But at the moment, Maldini's the dominant factor in their duel on the right-hand side.
Here they are again. Lombardo and Maldini. Maldini, who captained the Italians in the game against Portugal in the week. That was the second time he had skippered the side. 45 caps, and he's only 24. So Maldini will have his sights set on Dino Zoff's all-time record.
I honestly feel, Peter, that we're having the pleasure to see possibly one of the best footballers that the world has seen in a number of years. He isn't glorified because he's a defender, but he really is a very, very talented player, and to have 44 caps at 24 years of age is quite remarkable.
Busso with Rijkaard. Moved by Costa Curta. Now Lana pumping it forward rather aimlessly, though. 5 minutes of the first half to go. And Milan, no question, are in command.
You can actually see the confidence draining away from Sampdoria, the way, purely simply the way Milan are playing. And Lana had plenty of time there. He just humped the ball, hoping that something was going to happen up front. They've got to keep hold of it and get their own confidence back by passing it around, having a few touches amongst themselves.
Offside, this time against Papan. More goal news for you. And Foggia have taken the lead away to Udinese. And it's an own goal by Desideri, former Roma and Inter player. Not really had too much to do so far, Sebastiano Rossi, but he's been in splendid form lately. And as we were hearing about beforehand, he's saved his last 3 penalties, the last 3 that he's faced, including that vital one against Atalanta, which might have put the unbeaten record in jeopardy if Gats had managed to score. Bowdy, rather, it was. I beg his pardon. Now, Lombardo. This is Massaro. Savicevic. Massaro in this deeper position for the moment. Just pushing right up front. Oh, miscue then by Des Walker, which wasn't punished by Milan, to his great relief. Could have been embarrassing. Ivani. Rijkaard. Costa Curta. Rijkaard with the header. Straight back though to Vierkevord. Now 33 years old. The Italians had 2 33-year-olds in their back line against Portugal, with Tassotti playing as well. Now Mancini, and he's onside this time. Taking on Costa Curta. And just taking it too far. Excellent saving tackle though by Costa Curta, who has his critics in the Italian league. But my word, that was an important tackle.
It was great football all around that. Unfortunately, on the replay, we couldn't actually see the first touch of Mancini, but Costa Curta got back very well, and that was a tremendous last-ditch tackle.
Now Mancini taking the corner. Vierkevord has come up from the back. This timed effort by Jugovic. Now is he going to stay and play? That was quite amazing. It's a throw to Milan. Don't get too many shots going out for throw-ins. You had any of those, Ray?
I've had plenty of those, Peter, yeah. Plenty of them.
Ray hasn't had one of those since, what time is it now?
I think the Milan players were complaining it was offside, and they were right, he was offside.
Lombardo did well to get his cross in there and snatched out of the air by Rossi. Terrific goalkeeping.
Great goalkeeping, because he's had nothing to do, and it's freezing cold, obviously, for Rossi to be playing there and just standing still. And that's tremendous concentration. That's what it's all about at top class goalkeeping. He's been able to keep your concentration for 90 minutes.
We're now into the last minute of the first half. The free kick is wasted. And this is Aranio for Milan, leading by 2-0. Sacchetti. Sampdoria with a lot of thinking to do at half-time, and no doubt there'll be a lot of talking from their coach Eriksson. Again, called offside. They've got to work at this rate. Not easy, I know, but they're getting caught too often.
Yes, they are. As soon as the ball is played back, Milan come forward, and as the ball was pushed back to Lana, Baresi would have had them pushing up that extra couple of yards. And if you're not coming alongside on, you're going to get called offside, as we've seen on a number of occasions.
We're now into time added on for stoppages at the end of the first half. Iranio taking the throw. Rijkaard, who strolled through this first half. Iranio again. Now linking with Ivani. Maldini. Confronted by Lombardo. This is Baresi now. Rijkaard. Too easy though for Lana. But Sampdoria can't get the ball back. And Busso there wheeled away in frustration. So hard to play against Milan. So organised, so productive, so inventive, and so lethal when it comes to finishing. Iranio. Rijkaard ahead of him. That time here for Des Walker. Corrini. Baresi had been marking the progress of Mancini to thwart him. Baresi again. So much more than just a defender, Baresi. So many of Milan's more flourishing attacks stem from him. Here's Baresi now. Well, he seems to have so much time, Ray. And for the moment, though, is Lombardo. Appeals for a penalty, half-hearted ones. Busso a little more vociferously. Referee totally disinterested. And off goes Ivani. Papin.
Yes, going back to Baresi, Peter, I think that is the sign of the truly great players when they do have all that time. I know he plays as a spare player at the back, but he makes so much time for himself. He really is a truly great player.
Papin. Maldini, but there is the half-time whistle to signal for Inter. Genoa 2, Lazio 1. It's Napoli 0, Ancona 0. Roma 0, Juventus 1. That's Roberto Baggio with his 13th goal of the season. Torino 2, Pescara 1. And Udinese 1, Foggia 1. We'll keep you posted, of course, on all those other games during the second half. Here's Lentini. Dispossessed, though, by the formidable figure of Vierkovon. Maldini. Ray Wilkins, what's the best plan for Sampdoria to not only stem the tide, but create something of their own, really?
I think basically take a leaf out of Milan's book. They've got to work a lot harder when they don't have the ball. They're letting Milan just play it around between them.
It's Busso now, threatening. Until Iranio made the interception. There's a corner to Sampdoria, which Mancini inevitably will take. What a fillip a goal for Sampdoria will be now, right at the start of this second half. But the huge figure of Rossi holding on.
Yes, as I was saying, Peter, I honestly feel that Sampdoria don't really put Milan under enough pressure when they're in possession. OK, they've got great passes of the ball and they use the ball very well. But you can still put them under pressure and they will make mistakes.
Well, that was a mistake really by Des Walker. He underhit the back pass and it put Pagliuca in all sorts of difficulties, having to concede the throw in the end. Could have been worse. Now Jugovic, quiet first half from him. Sampdoria will be hoping he can impress more in the second period, pose himself on the game a bit more. Serena, here's Lana. Made by Costa Curta, not very well though. And there was Maldini to the rescue. Lentini. He can't be such a graceful and dangerous player, Lentini, but his confidence seems to be low at the moment.
Yes, it does, and you can't. I can't understand it really. he's playing in such a good side and such a successful side where the confidence is flowing through everybody. It's only when you're really struggling as a team that the confidence seems to, or should suffer. Lentini's playing in possibly the best side in world football, and we still see him having a struggle up week in, week out. I personally would like to see him play on the right side of the field, his natural side. He keeps wanting to keep coming in on his right foot from the left-hand side.
It's Baresi now. Massaro. Good turn by Lentini. Iranio. No real problem for Iranio settling into the Milan rhythm in the first half. So many quality players in reserve. We were looking at the names on the bench, Ray. I mean, it's a class line-up there.
Yes, that's right. Now you even think of Tassotti and Albertini, Di Napoli, there's and Simone. You've got internationals all round. It's an embarrassment of riches.
Rijkaard.
A similar start to the first half. Sampdoria have come out with all guns blazing and are working really hard, and hopefully they can pick up a goal and get their confidence up a bit.
Walker. Way by Costa Curta. A rather unkind bobble then that doesn't assist him. Certainly not the best pitch in the world. They might have the best team, but the surface still leaves something to be desired. Walker now. Made by Baresi. Now Massaro on the chase. Played it towards Papan, and he squeezed it wide.
It's an unbelievable miss. I think it's Des that is actually sliding in with him. The ball wasn't quick enough, Massaro, and it's just lays behind him slightly. But there's no excuses for Papan. That's a very, very easy chance for a player of his caliber.
Oh, Massaro went extremely clear down the left, no offside. And he had the presence of mind to unselfishly play the ball into the path of Papan.
There it goes again. I think it's Des that just gets back and has a lunge, and it puts Papan off. But he does get the first strike on the ball, and he should have put it into the empty net.
What about Massaro, Ray? Did he do the right thing there and pass rather than shoot?
Yes, I think so. The only thing I thought wrong with the pass, it was a little bit slow. It held up slightly, and had the ball been slightly quicker, then Papan would have just have walked it in.
Serena with Savicevic. That's the other thing about Milan. They work so hard. To get the ball back again.
The good thing about Savicevic as well, when he was tucked in the corner there trying to defend against the fullback, was the fact that he didn't foul him and let Sampdoria come out and have a free kick. It's important that once you get people stuck in corners that you keep them stuck there and don't give them silly free kicks away and let them get out on a free ticket.
Jugovic now. Lombardo making the run for him. Costa Curta was in the way. The referee has given the free kick to Sampdoria.
And that's the first time we've seen Lombardo come off that wing. He's come off and he's caused problems already because he's got so much pace that when he's running at people and running into areas, into middle of goals, he's going to cause defenders problems. But when he stays and plays one against Maldini, I don't often fancy.
Now, what can Mancini and company conjure up here? Still the rain absolutely teeming down in Milan. And the surface getting more and more slippery. It's Jugovic. Lombardo! And Rossi was in the right place.
That was a shame for Sampdoria because Lombardo was onto that very quickly, and I think a yard either side of Rossi, and that could have been a goal back for them.
Corini. Only as far as Iranio. Savicevic couldn't find Massaro though. Here's Corini. Well timed jump by Baresi, showing his prowess in the air as well as on the deck. Savicevic. Rijkaard still pulling the strings around the midfield area. Frank Rijkaard. On with this fellow, Vanni. Maldini. Now Jugovic to Carini. The two central midfield players for Sampdoria. Mancini, Lombardo. Great ball through initially from Mancini. And it was Jugovic on the end of it all.
That was much better football from Sampdoria. Really good football. We go back to the free kick. Jugovic smashes it through the wall. And Lombardo reacts very quickly. But unfortunately, it was a lunging tackle, I think, from Costa Curta that just put him off. And Billy Costa Curta's made 2 or 3 tackles there, and the last one on Jugovic was quite exceptional.
Now Mancini with the corner. Lombardo. Massaro back there beavering away to help out his defenders. And the whistle's gone anyway, in favour of Milan.
I think the corner from Mancini went directly out.
Yeah. So dismay, disappointment for Sven-Goran Eriksson.
That's a waste. Sampdoria have got themselves back in this game. They're actually working really hard to get into the match, and when Mancini gives away good positive positions for them, it's a waste.
Foul then by Savicevic. The free kick taken quickly. The referee trying to keep the game flowing. He's done well there, the referee. He's making sure he's had a word with the offender first. Jugovic. Here goes Serena, dancing past the launch of Baresi. It's another free kick to Sampdoria. So for once, Baresi got his timing wrong.
Yes, that's right, and another dangerous position as well. We see Albertini warming up there. But this is a dangerous position for Milan. We might see Mancini try one from the direct free kick.
Has Lombardo there too. I'm sure Jugovic hovering around. Urgent instructions from Rossi. There's a lot of movement going on in that penalty box. Carini. Another waste.
Yes, it is a waste. It's important to hit the target. The Milan wall's a big wall. I think the ball probably touched to the side is the better ball, as we saw before from Jugovic. For a direct kick, to get it up and down over that Milan wall has got to be an exceptional free kick.
Baresi pumping it forward. Here's Serena. Now Maldini. Lost by Ivani, thanks to the speed there of Vierkovod.
That was much better play from Sampdoria when they don't have the ball. They pressed up and they put Milan under a lot of pressure.
They could be under pressure themselves now. Oh, it's a sloppy pass though by Massaro. And here comes Sampdoria again. Carini's pass, Baresi with a header clear. It'll fall for Lombardo. Good strike! And a fabulous save by Rossi. Busso now. Much more like it from Sampdoria. And they haven't given up the chase yet. Iranio.
And so they shouldn't either. That really was a good strike from Lombardo, and Rossi pulling off a good save. But they definitely have started the first 10 minutes of the second half the better side. They've started to attack Milan and putting them under pressure when Milan have the ball, and that's the way they've got to do it.
Jugovic, Mancini, Lombardo. Now young Sacchetti. Vierkovod. This is Jugovic. How do you break them down? Well, they nearly achieved it then. The offside flag raised against Mancini.
That was good football. They were very patient. 1 and 2 touches, passing the ball, and it was nice to see Milan having to chase round for a bit. Savicevic looks as if he's left the field or leaving the field.
Albertini coming on too, look.
Yeah, Tossotti's one that's gone on.
And yeah, so Albertini and Tassotti, the two players coming on for Milan, a double switch.
I think we possibly see Aranio push up onto the right flank and just have Tassotti sitting behind it.
Ivani. Here's Aranio. Hustled by Carini. Splendid turn then by Aranio. Bjerkevold to the rescue. The danger, though, hasn't passed yet. Bjerkevold again having to hoof it clear.
I think it's Frank Rijkaard that's actually gone off, Peter. He's
yes, we're just looking round there. Yes, Rijkaard.
He fell strangely in the first half. Whether he's feeling the effects of it, I don't know.
Yes, he's had a back injury, which kept him out of the last game when we featured Milan against Atalanta.
While he was on, he was very influential, wasn't he? He was, I thought, possibly the best player on the field.
Ivani whipping over the cross. Sacchetti for Sampdoria. And high hopes this season of pushing the likes of Milan up at the top of the table. Rather too many inconsistent performances, though, to sustain a challenge. But they are certainly in the running for a European place. Again, a promising build-up. Now, Serena. Well, his shot got through. No real sting on it, though, to trouble Rossi.
No, he may have been better advised passing it earlier as well. But I think it was Lombardo to his right-hand side who appeared to be in a better position. This is much better from Sampdoria. They're making a real game of it. They've had more shots in the first quarter now, the second half, as they did all first half.
Maldini. Not the best of clearances from him, though, for once. There's Albertini. Very impressive for the Italians in midweek.
It's their final pass with Sampdoria that's letting them down, overhitting it, or even passing it slightly too early.
Down goes Papin, flattered by Bjerkevold. He was right on the edge of the box. No question that he was outside. There's Bjerkevold.
He was definitely outside the box, and a pretty clumsy tackle as well. And it's quite often the case. He's hurt himself more than he's hurt Papin, so, you know, let's hope he doesn't have to leave the field, because he's had a very good game, Bjerkevold.
Well, he was threatening to accelerate clear then, Papin. And Bjerkevold deciding he couldn't risk the chance that Papin would conjure up another chance for himself.
Yeah, there we see it once again, and it's the second time you see it, you probably think that Bjerkevold just intentionally pulled him down.
Well, that will be a major blow for Sampdoria if he's not able to continue. Sporting shake of the hands between the two. And no question there that Bjerkevold has come off worse. He might have a problem running that one off.
It appears that way initially, Peter, but I think once this attack's cleared, we might see a different story.
Tassotti parking himself just in front of that defensive wall. And this time it's Ivani's turn to waste the opportunity from the set piece. Now some more goal news for you. It's Udinese 2, Foggia 2, high scoring game there, and it's Abel Balbo with his 18th of the season for Udinese. What a campaign he's having. Kolivanov equalising for Foggia. And Pescara's problems continue. They're now 3-1 down away to Torino. Mancini. Off Paresi, still Mancini. Lombardo is in there. Maldini just managed to hook it away. And was that a shot then on Lombardo? The referee says no.
It looked a good old British challenge, that, and Maldini come out on top.
And to continue the scoring, Roma 1, Juventus 1, and Giannini has scored for Roma. Baggio having given Juve the lead early on. Massaro. Walker. Corini. Jugovic. Sampdoria's passing game, they hope will create an opening for them, but not this time. Broken up by Albertini. Papan. Tassotti to Costa Curta. Possession football for Milan until it was broken up by Lana, but now Papan is offside.
Yeah, they seem to be a bit flat at the moment, Milan. They are quite comfortable at 2-0, but their performance does just appear to have dropped off a little bit. That was good possession football they had there, and unfortunately with Papan running slightly too early, it would come to no avail.
Maldini got his foot in well. Lentini now. Hoping to spark Milan into life. Here's Tassotti. And towards Massaro. Sacchetti was underneath it and away by Vierkevard, who does indeed seem to have shaken off his injury. Ivani. Albertini. Tassotti. Now Eranio. Another dangerous ball in. Again, Massaro is there. Tipped over the bar by Pagliuca. An almost replica, really, of a previous move, with Massaro this time getting his header in.
That was a very good header as well. He was leaning back. He got a lot of power in that, and Pagliuca doing well to put it over.
Just for a moment then, it seemed it might just dip in under the crossbar. Pagliuca again enhancing his reputation. And a fall for Massaro. Des Walker. Again having to clear with his left foot.
What a good pass it was as well.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that obviously Des playing left back, his left foot's going to come on a bundle, and we've seen on several occasions in this second half, he's played some really good passes down the left-hand side. With what we would consider would be his swinger, as we call it in the game.
What did you do on that? I think you worked very hard on your weaker foot in your younger days, didn't you?
Yes, I did. I had a tendency to... my left foot was my weaker foot, and I would just play five-a-sides without touching the ball with my right foot, or attempt to. And would honestly feel players, if they would give it 10 minutes a day, not only children at school, but also pros, if they were to give their weakness 10 minutes a day, I'm sure it would improve.
Here's Lentini. I used to play five-a-sides without using either foot. And he's forced the corner, has he? Everybody turns towards the referee, and he's given the corner. The dismay of Vierkevard.
Yeah, it did appear to come off his right foot, the last touch being Lentini's. But as you see, as Lentini takes people on his weaker side, his left side, he has to slow down to make sure he makes contact properly. And consequently, it takes a lot of the effectiveness away.
Vierkevard keeping a watchful eye on Papin. Ivani to swing over the free kick. Only half cleared. Albertini, who's got a venomous shot from distance. Tassotti plays it back in. And eventually Sampdoria scramble it away. Now the counter-attack being launched by Mancini. And that's not a bad effort either. Just curling away from that far post.
That was a good effort from Mancini. He carried it a good 60-65 yards, but If you watch the way that Baresi defended against him, he started to shepherd him away from goal, and in the finish it would have had to have been a miraculous shot from Mancini to score.
Uranio. This is Baresi, the captain of Milan. Asano gives it away though. Walker. Using his left foot in distribution most of the time now, does Walker. Here's Sacchetti. Lombardo got away from Maldini. It was a rash challenge by the Milan defender there. And Lentini back to help out.
Yes, he did well, Lombardo. Maldini tried to nick in front, but he used his body against him and let the ball run past him. But again, it was superb covering from Lentini. That's what a team's all about. He saw Maldini in trouble. He made up a lot of ground to get the tackle in.
Corini taking the corner. Back in by Sacchetti. And away by Costa Curta. Billy, as he's known. Any idea why that is, Ray?
I have no idea at all, but...
you called him Billy earlier.
Yes, I did, yes. I knew him as a young chap. And I think with his looks, he should have been in Hollywood. I don't know about the San Siro.
Ivani. Maldini. And Papan is onside. Looking across towards the lines when there was no flag. Lentini has to score. 3-0. And the offside trap was broken then as Papan struck forward and unselfishly into the path of Lentini, who celebrates. Great relief for him. He's been going through a sticky patch, and that will do his confidence no harm at all.
Yeah, let's hope he's a bit happier as well after that one. It was good play from Papan. He looked across the line just over his shoulder, making the initial run that was, and then as we see, the ball slipped inside, and Lentini does a good job of sticking it into the empty net. This is good awareness. You know, you'd normally expect players to go on and take it themselves, but gets his head up, just nicks it across the front of Lentini, and he has the simplest task of putting it in. The important thing from the goal was the fact that Papan, the way he made his run, he bent his run slightly, which means he came out from the Sampdoria back four and then darted back in again, and it's very difficult for defenders to pick up.
So Lentini credited now then with 2 goals, if he's claiming the first one with his deflection. There's Maldini now. He won't have taken too much satisfaction from the first goal, but he certainly will have done from that second one. Finish it off cleanly enough. Difficult really to tell from those replays how strong the hint of offside was.
Yes, I thought Papan was initially onside. He made his run, he timed his run very well, and he got in there, and it was good, intelligent football.
Uranio. A late tackle by Lana. Now, I'm not sure if the referee here has given a free kick on the corner. Whatever it is.
I think he's given the free kick.
Yeah.
And I think you can see why as well. Uranio did ever so well. He just lifted the ball over the foot of Lana, and he could only pull him down in the finish.
They have Papan in there, and Lentini and Massaro. And it was a great drive and hit the bar to Sotti. Oh, fabulous effort.
My word, what a shot. That really was a blunderbuss. Correct me if I'm wrong, Peter, but I don't think Mauro Tassotti would have scored too many goals for Milan. This really was a drive. Look at that. It's a fantastic save, actually, from Pagliuca. He appears to get his hands to it.
He certainly hasn't scored this season. Pushed onto the bar. And credit there. Pagliuca with the save. Rasping effort from Tassotti. He'd have dined off that one for a while if that had gone in.
Oh, I think he would have done as well. That would have been a remarkable goal. That was fully 30 yards, I would have thought. Pagliuca pulled off a tremendous save. I can only think, as Sampdoria pushed out from the initial free kick, that someone had stayed in and there was an offside flag gone up.
Walker. Sari losing out this time. Now some more goal news. It's Cagliari 2, Atalanta 0. Oliveira. And here's the Lazio game. It's now 2-2. It's against Genoa, so they've come back from 2 down. A penalty from Signori, the second goal for Lazio. And it was Paul Gascoigne who was brought down. So Lazio back on level terms there. Signori with his 19th goal now this season. Lombardo for Sampdoria. Forward by Vierkevord. Oh, elegantly controlled then by Baresi. Elegantly and arrogantly, really.
It's the first touch again, Peter. He's so confident that he'll control that ball dead, as they all are when they play. And it takes a lot of time and practice.
Sotti with Aranio, who's had a fine match for Milan. Competing really for a place on the right side with Ruud Gullit, who's been rested today.
It's a bit of an uphill task, isn't it? But he's a super player in his own right, and he's, as you said, and quite rightly said, he's had a very good match.
Well, when players like Aranio and Ivani come into the side, they have to impress if they are to challenge for a place such as the high level of competition at Milan. So many outstanding players on the books. And always suggestions that they're going to sign even more. Maldini now. Here's Papa. Scored that classic headed goal. The second for Milan. Lentini with the other two. And this is Lentini now. Aranio. Lentini on a hat-trick, of course. To Sotti. 15 minutes to go. Milan leading by 3-0. Well, in fairness to Sampdoria, they have improved since the break. They haven't been able to create too much to trouble the runaway league leaders.
I think you're right, Peter, and I think up until the third goal of Milan, Sampdoria had possibly been the better side in the second half. But it was nice to see Lentini come off that wing, and he looks a lot more threatening when he comes inside and plays either through the mid or on the other side of the pitch.
Walker now. Vierkevord. Jugovic. There's a good pass to Serena. Mancini now. He's within shooting range. Now here's a really piece of dramatic news I'm just hearing. Paul Gascoigne has been sent off. Lashing out, I'm told, at an opponent. So Gaz are in trouble. That's really sad to hear. No doubt we will hear what he's got to say about it in his programme Gazzetta on Saturday morning. Another score, Roma 2, Juventus 1. Now Thomas Hassler has put Roma ahead. They were a goal down there, Roma, early on when Baggio scored. And Inter have now gone ahead away to Fiorentina. They were also trailing 2-1. Inter now leading Fiorentina. And Ruben Sosa has scored both the goals for Inter. But what a sensation, Paul Gascoigne sent off. I dare say you might read about that in the morning. Here's Lentini now. Ivani. Baresi into the path of Ivani. Milan still hunting further goals. Really a fairly comfortable ride for them here on in, with that 3-goal advantage. 2 more they need now for the half-century in the league this season.
That's an incredible record. They seem to score goals at will, and they've scored some very good goals this afternoon.
Double switch being made here. Chiesa is coming on. That's Carini going off. Chiesa and Bertarelli, and Busso has also taken his leave of the field.
It's been a difficult afternoon for Busso. He's played a lone striker's role up front, and with Costa Curta and Baresi there, it was never going to be easy for him, and he hasn't really had too many touches of the ball.
Maldini. Number 16 is Bertarelli. He'll be replacing Busso up front. Jugovic taking the throw. And even Mancini now looking a little disheartened. Bierkevot. Jugovic. Here's Baresi. A rare excursion into foreign territory for him. Just nicked the ball away too. Off goes Papan, and he's offside.
Yes, that time he was offside. He's all these great strikers, the likes of Papan, and goal-getters, the likes of Gary Lineker, they always play on the line. They play very close to being onside or offside. And I think as we see the ball flick through there, Papan's just left it, or he's gone a fraction early. Otherwise he would have been onside and making another dash towards that Sampdoria goal.
And it actually would have been a fabulous pass, I think, by Albertini to release Papan if he had been onside. Iranio now. Cut out by Lana. Chiesa's pass, and Rossi, well, he had to be his most alert then, with Mancini marauding up front. Obviously, Ray, we don't quite know what's happened with Paul Gascoigne, but that's very disappointing news to hear of that.
It is very disappointing news. Hopefully it's an Italian referee going a little bit over the top, and Paul's done not too much wrong, but it is difficult for players, and it's difficult for foreign players when they're in Italy. They do have to conduct themselves to the highest degree. But I sincerely hope that it's not too much, because referees can be a little bit dodgy. When the slightest, if a hand's raised, he'll send anybody off, or an elbow is unfortunately flashed out, he'll send them off. And it's not only with strangers, but it's with everybody, and that's the way the Italian game's played.
Well, he has a volatile temperament, of course, Paul Gascoigne, but the referees over there this week have been saying how well he's been handling himself in Italian football. He's coming for a lot of praise.
Well, I thought on the times that we've seen him play, he really has conducted himself in great fashion.
Here's Bierkevot now, trying to plough his way towards goal, and he's won the corner. Great determination as ever being shown by Bierkevot, but Eriksson knows his team surely are on to a defeat here. That's Albertini guarding the near post. Another cool and assured performance today by Franco Baresi. Mancini curling over the corner. And Rossi having to watch that one very closely.
He's watched them all very closely. I've been impressed with Rossi this afternoon. He hasn't been in the game too much, but when he's been called on, he's done very well. And it's not easy to concentrate the way he has to. There we see the shot going in, and Rossi flying across the goal. I think he had it well covered. It's not easy to concentrate for 90 minutes when it's pouring down the rain, it's freezing cold. But what he's had to do, I think he's done very well.
Well, he's started the last 9 now for Milan, Sebastiano Rossi, with young Antonioli out through injury. And he's only conceded 4 goals, so that's the measure of his consistency. Mind you, it does help having Baresi and co ahead of you. Jugovic. Here's Lana. Has Walker wide, doesn't use him though. Finds instead Bertarelli. Bjerkegaard lost it though to Lentini, asking a lot of Massaro.
Who's had a quiet game today, Massaro. I thought he was quite lively in the first half, but we haven't really seen him too much in the second half.
Vettorelli, Serena. Bjerkegaard. Off goes Maldini, no holding back from him, but of course they do have, Ray, this very important European Cup game coming up in the week.
Yes, they do, and it'll be one of their toughest games as well. I think they play Porto in the week, which is a tough game for them. Porto are an excellent side, so Milan will, I would imagine, take their foot off the throttle slightly and preserve their energy for this titanic battle on Wednesday evening.
Yes, they don't lose too often, Porto, the champions of Portugal. Some excellent players in their side. One or two of them, of course, in the Portuguese team that play the Italians in the week.
They rely very heavily as well upon their strangers, do Porto, and they do have some excellent players.
Lana. Now then to Walker. One back by Ivani. Costa Curta then losing out. Did well to recover. Lentini. Now Mancini, and it just rolled away from him. As we move towards the last 5 minutes of the game. Looks a bit dispirited now, doesn't he, Mancini?
Yes, he does. He's worked hard. His movement off the ball is very, very good. We saw him there in a position with Baresi again, who wasn't going to allow him to turn. He wasn't going to dive in and make it easy for Mancini and go over and get a foul. So Mancini had to do all the work, and as he took it across the byline, he looked rather dispirited. But it hasn't been a happy afternoon for Sampdoria. Milan have been quite comfortable, apart from the first 10 minutes of the second half.
Now Lombardo. Teasing out Rossi, who towers over everybody anyway. He won't lose too many in the air, Rossi. Iranio. Around 6'6" he is. Walker. Vettorelli. Now then to Chiesa. That's good skill shown by him, and Rossi had to make the save. And the flag was up anyway. One or two of those Sampdoria strikers, their attackers, turning away.
Yeah, that's the thing with it. He's turned back. He hasn't gone to the byline. He's turned back on his right side. And I think it was Mancini looking at him in disgust, because as soon as he turns back onto his right foot, Baresi will have the Milan players coming up at a couple of yards. Consequently, they get called offside.
Massaro. Ivani to Albertini. Given away, though, to Walker. And that's neat skill by Albertini. What a discovery he has been for Milan. Here's Albertini now. Came in really towards the end of the championship season. And he's made tremendous progress in this campaign. And you were a bit surprised he was left out today, just to give him a rest. You felt a 21-year-old doesn't need a rest.
Well, I would have thought at 21 you wouldn't need too many rests, and I think Albertini has complained in the past that he's felt very tired, and I do find it slightly strange.
You weren't too impressed with that, were you?
No, I wasn't too impressed
as a 36-year-old.
No, but even, you know, dispelling that's just one of those things. But I can't honestly see why a 21-year-old would claim that he's tired if it meant not playing in a side such as this AC Milan team, because I think for everybody watching, I'm sure they would sooner play 5 games a week and still have the opportunity of playing in this side every Sunday.
Now Lazio have taken the lead against Genoa, so Gazza's departure hasn't proved too costly at this stage. And it's Karl-Heinz Riedle. That's 2 for him in this game. And it's Cagliari 2, Atalanta 1, and Rambaldi, the man who missed that penalty against Milan, has got a goal back.
See, that could work against Paul as well, because if all the other foreign players start to play exceptionally well, then Paul could find himself without a game on a Sunday, and that would be the unfortunate thing.
Bam! Another lightning strike by the French international. Well, he's furious that he hasn't scored.
No, it was great skill, and the thing that made it look as if he nearly scored was how quick he hit it. He hits it very, very early on the turn, and that prevents Pagliuca coming out too far and cutting off the angle.
So it stays at 3-0. But he certainly looked very angry there, Papin. I mean, it was a tremendous turn, fabulous shot, but when you score as many goals as he does, you're always disappointed when they don't go in.
I don't think it's so much whether they go in, Peter. I think it's the fact that they don't hit the target. These guys all like to hit the target and make goalkeepers make saves if it's not going to go in the back of the net. But he's looked impressive, Papin. I think more and more as he's grown in confidence of playing with the side. He makes these little darting runs, and he's looked a very impressive performer.
I think the feeling was before the season started that both he and Van Basten would play together in tandem up front, but Capello changed that tactic in the early matches. I wonder what he'll do when Van Basten comes back.
Well, I think it's 1 from 4, because I think Rijkaard and Van Basten will always be a permanent 2 if they're fit. And who will play as the added one, I wouldn't have a clue.
Chiesa, and off Costa Curta for the corner.
They're all terrific players in their own right. You've got Baban, Savicevic, Papin, and Ruud Gullit, of course. And I suppose out of the lot, I personally would go for Gullit.
Baban, incidentally, suspended today, so he didn't come into the reckoning. Way by Tassotti. No real chance of Sampdoria coming back now, but seeking a consolation goal. And hoping they don't concede anymore. They still might. Massaro, off goes Papin. Walker is with him. Papin got the better of him. And rhymes in number 4. 2 for Papin, 2 for Latini. And Milan's dominance is complete.
What a fantastic goal. I think it's Massaro that gives it to Papin, and he shows tremendous strength for a little fella. Our own Des Walker's putting him under an immense amount of pressure. There's the ball from Massaro. I thought Des was going to win it there, but Papin shows tremendous strength. Cuts on Des's left side, and again it's this early shot. He strikes it early, and it cannons in off the near post. A really tremendous goal. Look at the strength of the little fella, because he's only a slight chap. That's a great goal. Tremendous.
As you say, you'd fancy Des Walker there. So nearly nicked the ball off him, but then lovely skill from Papin, and that thunderous finish. Milan 4, Sampdoria 0. And, well, the run now extended to 56 matches without defeat. How on earth can you stop this wonder side? Tassotti. Iranio. Sampdoria thrashed 5-1 here last season. It's the same margin of defeat they're on at the moment. Tassotti now. Milan in full flow. But Lana able to clear it away. Lana again. The final whistle. And a comprehensive victory for Milan. 4 goals to 0. 2 in the first half.